70% of the Earth is water. It is a singular channel that directly connects each society to each other. What began as the primary mode of exploration, transportation, and commerce is now at risk, and our society as a whole depends on it. This is merely a matter of life and death, if not for our generation, the generation after ours. The ocean is one of the most significant sources of oxygen, medicine, and food. And it is our number one source to fight hunger, particularly in developing countries, fight cancer, Alzheimer's, arthritis, and more. Ultimately, the ocean economy directly employs over 3 million people. That indirectly affects over 76% of the world's transportation and nearly $282 billion of industry. The ocean produces over half of the world's oxygen and absorbs over 50 times more carbon dioxide than our atmosphere. Too much carbon dioxide will result in all life on Earth dying. Today, we have already reached unprecedented amounts of carbon dioxide density in our atmosphere, particularly because of plastic and pollution and other greenhouse gases. The process of creating plastic and throwing away accounts for nearly 60% of that pollution. Yet we barely have scraped the surface. Much like an iceberg, what we have seen above the ocean is small compared to what's beneath. That pollution that we see escaping to the land and ocean surface is diminutive to the pollution that sinks to the bottom of the ocean. Plastic at landfills or at the bottom of the ocean take far too long to decompose. Instead, the plastic at the bottom of the ocean takes centuries to break down. And in the process, marine life takes in that plastic in destroying those ecosystems. Last year when I was at the United Nations Media for Social Impact Summit, I realized firsthand that despite SDG 14's problem severity, consumer awareness of this problem below the ocean, of life below the ocean, is at an all-time low. This cannot just be the responsibility of media to advocate for these problems. Now is the time and job for big businesses that have daily interactions with millions of people to help convey the urgency of this issue. To explain why Bed Bath & Beyond is participating in these sustainability initiatives, and why it's time for customers to think beyond the bed and bath and consider why they should be part of these initiatives too.
Bed Bath & Beyond is a big advocator for sustainable water usage. They engage in a variety of programs ranging from donations to recycling that is aimed towards preserving marine life health. Let me talk about some of the initiatives that they have engaged in, starting with reducing average daily water consumption. Bed Bath & Beyond is testing new solar faucets in certain locations that utilize ambient lighting. The faucet does not require electricity for the sensor to automatically turn the water on or off, therefore saving water and energy consumption. Sustainable goods such as water and shower heads that reduce water consumption are also something that Bed Bath & Beyond is actively advocating for and selling to their consumers. In addition, daily operations include things like reducing per flush toilets. In an annual basis, they are saving about 9,000 gallons of water a year. Something else that they are encouraging their customers to engage in is purchasing of reusable shopping bags and decreasing usage of single-use plastic bags. So they encourage their shoppers to buy these reusable bags, and the proceeds to these reusable bags average to about $500,000 a year, and these funds are used to support National Fish and Wildlife Foundations. The National Fish and Wildlife Foundation programs help to remove harmful fishing gear, such as these, to rebuild and restock certain fish areas around coastal U.S. locations. Something else that they are engaging in is with stench wrap recycling. At a lot of Bath & Beyond distribution centers, they have about 194 tons of plastic wraps that they are recycling and reusing, and it saves about 1,500 different landfill areas. So outside of these sustainable choices, they are also advocates of forest protection. By protecting and preserving forests, they reduce pressures on oceans as carbon sinks. When deforestation happens, carbon is absorbed by the ocean, and carbon levels rise in oceans, and thus marine life is negatively impacted. So here are some of the initiatives that they are engaging in to discourage deforestation. So some of them include sustainable paper procurement goals, such as recycling programs and selling recycled content, environmentally superior manufacturing, energy and greenhouse gas reduction. Bed Bath & Beyond also requires their suppliers to follow any of the 4 forest certification standards.
Hello, I'm Ayatollah, and I'm speaking on behalf of customers, government, and activist stakeholders who have formed a coalition to bring attention to the importance of SDG 14. In a global study done on consumers, it was found that 75% of consumers pay attention to corporate social responsibility when making these purchases, with 66% willing to pay higher prices for products that are more sustainable. Millennials and young adults are concerned with climate change more than ever before, with 40% ranking it as the top 5 things that worries them, behind only health and finances. Customers whose livelihoods are directly impacted by the resources it provides, such as food, medicine, and minerals, have also expressed significant interest in maintaining and improving the health of the ocean. Government stakeholders likewise have a voice in the sustaining of life below the water. The National Environmental Policy Act of 1969 committed the United States to sustainability, declaring it a national policy to create and maintain conditions under which humans and nature can exist in productive harmony that permit fulfilling the social, economic, and other requirements of present and future generations. Through the Environmental Protection Agency, otherwise known as EPA, the government is able to pass and enforce litigation to mitigate current pollution and its current future costs on the environment. But while the agency has the power of enforcement, it ultimately relies on the business in the private sector, such as Bed Bath & Beyond, to recognize the dangers of pollution and act accordingly to mitigate future damages. Last but not least, I represent several environmental groups who have joined customers and the government in establishing this coalition. These groups include organizations such as Waterkeep Alliance, the 5 Gyres Institute, and Ocean Conservancy, which have all made it their mission to uphold the health of oceans and rivers in the United States. These groups utilize both members and lobbying power to bring attention to issues concerning the environment and more specifically water pollution. These stakeholders have banded together to express their concern on life below water to Bed Bath & Beyond and implores the company to allocate resources towards combating this pressing issue.
In order to formulate recommendations for Bed Bath & Beyond, we thought it best to first look at what your main competitors are doing. In this way, Bed Bath & Beyond can go above and beyond what's already been done in the retail space. First up is Target, which has achieved 100% sustainable, fresh, and frozen seafood in all Target stores. Target has also partnered with the World Wildlife Foundation in order to assess points in their supply chain which can be targeted in water conservation. As of 2018, Target suppliers have conserved over 3 billion gallons of water. Next is JCPenney, who is making efforts to significantly reduce waste by recycling 85% of annual domestic waste in 2020. In only 2 years, from 2015 to 2017, JCPenney has also managed to surpass their existing energy conservation goals, reducing emissions by 19.6%. Last is Walmart. Their longest and most lofty goal is to have 100% of the packaging used for private brand products be recyclable by 2025. In addition, Walmart is working with multiple NGOs in order to formulate efficiency programs as well as to reduce use of palm oil, which is a large contributor to deforestation. Clearly, Bed Bath & Beyond still has areas which can improve its environmental responsibility. Therefore, we propose that Bed Bath & Beyond utilize different marketing campaigns to increase usage of reusable bags and decrease usage of single-use bags. In order to incentivize customers to use Bed Bath & Beyond's reusable bags rather than single-use bags, which are incredibly damaging to the environment, we believe that your company can offer discounts to customers who bring a reusable bag into the store. In throwing away a reusable bag, a customer would literally be disposing of a discount, which is entirely in accordance with Bed Bath & Beyond's commitment to discounts, as well as customer loyalty. We also believe that every reusable bag can be designed with materials to help customers understand why it is important. Our proposed tagline, which would be on every bag and all marketing materials, is "One fish, one tree, one human," referencing the idea that each time we pollute the oceans, it has a negative impact on marine wildlife, which harms the rest of our planet, which in turn reaches us humans as well. Plastered on each bag, the tagline will add incentive to customers to reuse the bags. Not only do these recommendations make financial sense to the customers, but they also allow Bed Bath & Beyond to have an increased, tangible impact on the health of the planet.